Once upon a time, the whole world spoke one language. Imagine that. One tongue, one heart, one purpose. There were no translators, no confusion, no linguistic borders. Humanity was united. But that unity, it slowly turned into pride. And what happened next didn't just build a tower. It changed the course of human history forever. This is the real story of what happened at the Tower of Babel, the day when God himself came down and divided the world. It all began in the land of Shinar, a wide, sun-drenched plain in ancient Mesopotamia. A group of people, full of ambition, looked at the vast expanse and said to each other, "Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower with its top in the heavens." This wasn't just a monument. It was a declaration, a symbol of human greatness meant to be seen from every corner of the world. Brick by brick, they began to build. The tower rose higher than any structure ever seen before, its surface shining with bitumen and clay. But this was not a building of worship. It was a building of defiance. "Let us make a name for ourselves," they declared, "so that we will not be scattered over the face of the whole earth." What they didn't realize was this. Their tower wasn't just reaching for heaven. It was challenging it. Then, the Lord looked down from heaven. He saw the city. He saw the tower. And he saw the pride swelling in their hearts. He said, "If as one people speaking the same language they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them." He wasn't afraid of their power. He was sorrowful for their direction. Their unity had no humility. Their progress had no higher purpose. They were uniting for their own glory, not for anything greater. And so, God came down. But he didn't come to destroy them with fire or flood. He came to do something far more subtle, and ultimately, far more lasting. He confused their language. Imagine the scene. The next morning, a builder turned to his friend and asked for a brick. But his friend just stared at him, a look of complete confusion on his face. He didn't understand a single word. A foreman shouted an order, and the workers below just looked up, their faces blank. The familiar sounds of cooperation turned into a chaotic jumble of noise. Laughter turned to shouting. Shouting turned to suspicion and fear. They could no longer understand one another. Their once perfect unity dissolved into a sea of babel. And as their language fractured, so did the people. They abandoned the unfinished tower and left the city. One group went this way, another that way. Each family, each clan, carried with them a different tongue, a different culture, a different destiny. And just like that, what could have been the world's first global empire collapsed into dust. But the story of the Tower of Babel isn't just about the origin of different languages. It's a profound lesson about the danger of pride without purpose. They wanted to reach heaven, but they wanted to do it without God. They wanted greatness, but without goodness. And so, God didn't punish them out of anger. In a way, he protected them from themselves. By scattering them, he slowed the unchecked growth of their pride and prepared the world for something far greater to come. Because one day, true unity would return. But it wouldn't come through human ambition. It would come through divine redemption. Centuries later, at Pentecost, people from every nation, speaking every language, gathered in Jerusalem. And suddenly, through a miracle of the Holy Spirit, they understood each other again. God reversed the curse of Babel, not with power, but with love. The story of Babel reminds us that unity without humility leads to destruction. But humility before God leads to true, lasting unity. We build our own towers every day, don't we? Towers of career, fame, wealth, and influence. But the question we must always ask ourselves is, who are we building them for? Because in the end, every tower built for our own pride eventually crumbles. But every heart built for God stands forever. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more stories that shape our world.